Hello, it's Mike Levin, and it's 6:45 on Wednesday morning, October 7th, 2014, and you can see just from these 15 minutes how much brighter it's gotten out. It's hard to see the sunrise from around here. I thought I'd do a second video on the dog walk just to talk about I guess the bigger picture issues. I talk a lot about my coding project and the SEO industry, but I figure I'm going back to work full time, and this is where it really starts to get interesting, because I'm not just earning an income to make a living for me and my family to get by. I have self-determined goals and missions in life. I'm not exactly trying to make the gigantic impact or the ding on the universe of, say, a Steve Jobs, but I certainly want to have a legacy. And I see things happening around me that kind of are flying low under the radar these days. Things like the Raspberry Pi $35 computer, which recaptures a lot of that 80s home computer hacking spirit, and is reinvigorating the hacker and maker community. And I see the free and open source movement picking up momentum, and I see certain categories of human knowledge and information and software going into something very much like, we throw around the term public domain, but I think the world underestimates what public domain really is. Now that we're in the information age, once something becomes part of the public domain, there's kind of a master archive of all human knowledge. It might not actually exist as such. There's some projects like archive.org that are attempting to do it, but certainly it's going to come into place. The government might have a copy. They talk about the storage capacity of the NSA, and then of course there's the Library of Congress, but some way or another there's going to be the whole collective history of all that can be knowable, all that Google crawlers could ever discover, all that is touching the internet, even if unbroadcast, that can be discovered through various means, and basically all human knowledge from this point forward in a very GitHub-like way. That is, it'll exist in more than one place, and there will be a kind of fourth dimension of time to the data, so you'll be able to see how the archive grows and changes over time. And that's what it means to be public domain and free and open source, or anything on the internet these days. Probably even copyright or not, because it's not for commercial use, it's just for preservation of knowledge. And that is a bandwagon worth jumping on. It's really, really significant. Then there's other categories of knowledge which are proprietary, kept off the internet, sources of competitive advantage, techniques of using the publicly available information. And I'll be involved in that too, and that is my, personal mission / earning a living split. There will be a split between the bits that I'm giving back to the world through the free and open source world community, initially through the Pipulate project, and then there will be those bits that I hold back as special competitive advantage for me, my employer, my close circle of people who also work for my employer, and their clients. And then there might be one more circle out where I try and make a little bit of money with some side revenue, sort of like an inner circle of Pipulate users sharing proprietary plugins that were developed maybe by them, and getting special advantage in whatever this SEO industry is evolving into. Because you hear it all the time: SEO is dead, PageRank is dead, social signals are the new kingmakers. Well, all this is kind of true, but the more things change, the more things are the same. Because in the end, Noteworthy is noteworthy. Worth talking about. Things that should rise to recognition. Will rise to recognition, because inevitably things will be discovered. Initial discoverability is important. Old school SEO counts. There's that initial discoverability, and then once something is discovered, there is the ease and friction-free way in which a person can broadcast their discovery if they wish to do so. Some things are deliberately kept secret by those who discover them, which is an issue that needs to be taken into account as well. But there you have it. That brings kind of like all these facets of my life together. The public show I'm kind of putting on in YouTube, the necessity to hold a more traditional job, to draw a paycheck, and the desire to create additional revenue streams in my life to kind of achieve, I guess, Rob Walling of Hittail, who bought one of my last creations, Hittail, who hails himself as a micropreneur, is one of my motivations. There's also a guy named Graham Lawler in New York City who runs the ultralight startup meetup, who's kind of an inspiration. But you don't need angel investors. You don't need incubators, and you don't need to raise money to do something interesting and big enough to have an impact on the world and make your lot in life and your family's lot just a little bit better than average, kind of to crawl your way up that pyramid of capabilities and choice in life. And that's the big picture. So thanks for joining me. Hope to talk to you again soon, and don't forget to subscribe.